Welcome to Exquisitely Aligned. You may be on your path to having it all. The house, family, money, and travel when suddenly something shatters your ideal world. It shifts your perspective. You are grateful for all that you have, yet you realize or decide having it all isn't all that. It may leave you feeling unhappy, unsatisfied, or unfulfilled. You're left wanting something even more fulfilling, but you can't quite put it into words. Others, they just don't get it. They try to pacify you. And that may leave you feeling guilty. I get it. I've stood in your shoes. Hi, I'm Gina, the escape artist expert. Today, we'll be discussing Stand Even Taller. 3 keys that will improve your appearance, your health, your mental health, and your life, which in turn typically influence your relationships to yourself and others and your finances. It's that powerful. Have I sold you yet? Sold you on the importance of standing tall? Standing tall, you see, is one of my favorite topics. Okay, the truth is, I only talk about my favorite topics. How about that? And my husband will tell you I have a lot of faves. And it's true. But 2 decades ago, I fell in love with yoga. It gave me something I was searching for, something I didn't have words to express, something I was craving internally. But I had no idea what that something was. I just knew I felt I was missing something. Well, it gave me inner peace, a true sensation that all is well, all is really well, all is blissful in me and in my world, no matter what the hell is going on outside. I felt grounded, invincible, strong, and resilient. One day, while reading a yoga book because I loved it, I read, if you want to learn something more, teach it. So that night over dinner, I told Mark my desire. I wanted to teach yoga. And as always, he's a good guy. He supported my wishes, which is a blessing. So off I went to become a registered yoga instructor. Posture, alignment, those things were my favorite things, because I found that once a body was in alignment, many other things improved. Health, mental health, relationships, clarity of the mind. It was amazing. It was amazing for me to watch my students transform week after week, month after month, year after year. I found myself always cueing posture. You see, it's the safest way to practice, and the body, it craves it. Great posture also makes us look thinner. And when we look from a chakra point of view, the energy centers, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over knees, knees over ankles. I said this over and over and over again. Many of my fabulous students told me they would hear my voice in their head as they passed a mirror. Honestly, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So, question number 1 for today is, am I physically standing tall? Standing even taller? Because now I hope you know the importance. Your posture truly is important. So the next time you are in front of a mirror, I encourage you to stand at a 45-degree angle and ask and look. Draw your ears over your shoulders over your hips over your knees, and your knees over your ankles. This is a great way to easily enhance your health. It helps you breathe better. It helps you digest better. It's more comfortable to walk this way, to sit this way, to live this way. Okay, next. What does it mean to stand tall in who we are? Well, for me personally, it means owning who we are. It means being proud of who we are. It means acknowledging where we've been, including the great times and the hellish ones. It means accepting who we are, including the times when we may not have known any better, or the times that we did something that we probably wouldn't repeat because we're in a better space. It means approving of everything about us, including all the nuttiness we've been through or all that we've survived. And yes, I believe if you're listening to me right now, there must have been at least a tad bit of hellish times in your life. Otherwise, we wouldn't have found each other. Okay, I have a feeling I need to talk about this more. I should say a calling. I think about you as a rare diamond, an exquisite diamond, and I do have a diamond fetish. I like things that represent light and that sparkle. You are precious. You are a gem. Let's do a little Science 101 because I feel like I need to do this. It wasn't planned, but I'll do it anyway. Diamonds are like coal. Diamonds are coal, sorry. They're black, they're opaque, nothing to do with light, nothing to do with transparency, and nothing to do with sparkling. But when the carbon is trapped, notice I said trapped, about 100 miles below the Earth's surface, and two other things happen. They are heated to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit and subjected to about 725,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. All that must take place in order for the coal to transform into a diamond. And then a volcanic eruption carries the diamonds to the Earth's mantle so they could be found. That is not an overnight transformation, not at all, right? I bet you know what I'm going to say. Yes, you, my friend, I'm guessing you have been to some very dark places. Places where you felt trapped, or you were trapped, where you felt pressure, possibly pressure to do something or to be something. Lots of pressure. And that may have turned up the internal heat. Maybe a bit of frustration, possibly anger, and internal heat causing you to kind of sweat. And this situation may have gone on longer than you hoped for. Or may have been multiple events like this over decades. Are you with me? Sometimes that darkness, the dreaded feeling of not being able to see what's next, not being able to sense what's ahead, just simple darkness, stillness, no movement, as if it were night, like the color of coal, and opaque, can't see. And then we have that heat, that anxiety, that frustration, that anger, or something else emotionally brewing within. And the pressure from outside forces, the pressure from within to make a change, a strong pressure from within. Maybe to change the situation, to end the suffering, to end the pain, to bring about the good times and bring back the bliss, if you will. And this may go on for longer than we like. We are uncomfortable. We are being transformed. When we are trapped in the darkness, trapped in the suffering, heated internally with desire for clarity, desire for knowing what's next, desire for change, and feel pressure from outside forces, things that we cannot change, and inside forces, over time, we transform, we transcend, we become refined. Notice, I didn't say we change. I am intentional here with my words. We never need to change. No, we are perfect. We are diamonds. We are born perfectly. But we are asked to escape the trap of status quo, the trap of the world begging us to conform. We are sometimes placed in hardship, in a hellish situation. Oftentimes, it can do with relationships, finances, or health. You take a pick. Sometimes one situation affects two or all three. But what erupts from this uncomfortable time is us. We appear transformed, we appear refined. And that is because you are transformed. You are even more refined. You made it to the other side. You made it. It's time to celebrate. So back to where I was going originally. So when I say be proud of who you are, I don't mean it lightly. I also said acknowledge who you are. Acknowledge all that you've been through, including the great times and the hellish ones. I truly mean that. I truly believe those hellish times didn't make us less than. They made us even more refined, even more ourself, even more ready to welcome our unlived life, the one that calls us in the wee hours of the night, the one that has us tossing and turning, asking ourselves, what's next? I have a feeling you know that feeling. I know you do. Okay, I really needed to get that off my chest. It was not something I'd planned, but I'm glad I went there. I felt called to share that. Maybe you needed to hear that today. I need a breath after that one. That was a lot coming out of me. And it very much ties into or lines up with us standing tall. Because those tough times need to be acknowledged for their truth. The truth is they refine us. They make us unbreakable. They give us clarity, deep clarity, the clarity we need, the clarity we desire to move forward in our truths and our desires. They also cause an eruption-like energy, a faster momentum, a pep in our step to go forth to conquer. Okay, no, I don't like that. Let me back that up. Not conquer, but the concept of being a warrior. Someone who is prepared to fight for what they believe. Okay, let me change that too. I'm not suggesting you fight. That's a rebel. And being a rebel takes a lot of energy. For me, I think it's exhausting. You've been through enough already. You don't need to rebel. But let's go here. Rather to stand even taller. You may even feel like you are taller. You may even appear taller when you escape that pressure and appear on the other side. If you are in a hellish circumstance or situation at the moment, I want to give you one piece of sound advice. If you're going through hell right now, don't stop. Seriously, don't stop. Keep moving forward. Keep moving, knowing that this will soon change. Understand you are transforming. You are being refined. You will make it through, I promise you. And soon you too will be standing even taller. I know that for a fact. Onward. We must stand tall. So why or what causes us not to want to stand tall? Or why or what do we choose not to stand tall, right? Are we afraid of intimidating others? Are we afraid of being judged? Are we afraid of excelling? So for today's purpose, I want to lump all those questions into one simple category. Let's call it emotions, because they provoke feelings within us. So standing tall physically we covered, and I remember I wanted to give you one other tip, so I'll give that to you as I recap. Let's talk about emotionally. Are you emotionally standing tall? Or the question for you might be, how can I stand even taller emotionally? What feelings are coming up when I ask you, are you afraid of being judged? Are you afraid of excelling? Are you afraid those close to you will leave you for standing tall? Or are you afraid you will leave them? This is a question I get often. I was recently asked by a beautiful soul. She said, Gina, I'm afraid if I live the life I'm meant to live, I might leave my husband. Do you think that will happen?